Three, two, one, one, two, three, two, one.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Peat. You know who it is. It's your girl, Nat the GM. All right. So my guy Jones is not going to be here today, so I'm going to hold it down for him. But we do have a special guest coming through. All right. So I'm going to tap him in as soon as he gets here. But let's talk about the week on repeat really, really quick. All right. So, as you know, it is NBA preseason. That's right. Basketball is back. All right. Now, we have seen all the teams. We see how they look. We see what's going on. So, I'm going to, walk through some highlights and some teams that I still have question marks about. And there's some teams that are kind of surprising me right now. One team, and I'm going to call them out. Golden State Warriors, they actually look better than what I thought they would. And we haven't really seen Draymond. We have, it's like they've been playing very well, though. Chris Paul actually looks really good next to Steph. The first game that they played on October 7th, it was against the Lakers. And the starting lineup was Thompson, Looney, Wiggins, Paul, and Curry. They win that game, and the bright spot on that team, on top of Paul playing decent, he had 6 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Jonathan Kuminga has looked really, really good, in the preseason. And if it wasn't on my bingo card, I know it wasn't on a lot of you guys. If he's going to step up and be that consistent bench scorer, the Warriors are going to be a problem again. Let's just call it out. The Warriors are going to be a problem again. They are going to be good. And you cannot just go over them, anymore. You can't say, okay, well, their window was shut. You guys said that 2-3 years ago when they won a couple seasons ago, the season before last, which, I was big on them that season. I just said that they have the team, they look good, they just need health, and then they win, but a lot of that is the same this year. If Chris Paul is going to come in and he's going to play more on ball to allow Curry to play more off ball Curry is deadly. And I know you guys watch Steph Curry, off ball Curry is deadly. If Chris Paul is going to run that offense and you're going to have to chase Curry all over the place, that is a problem for the league. It is a problem. Whether you like it or not, it is a huge problem. I'm actually really excited to see how this all unfolds. Again, Jonathan Kuminga, if he's going to come in and be that sixth man, if Jonathan Kuminga is a sixth man off that bench, and he is that guy that you can depend on, he's getting you 15 to 18, and on some nights 20 points a game, the Warriors are a headache for the West because the starting five is already really good. It's an elite starting five. Now, if you're talking about Chris Paul comes off the bench on top of Jonathan Kuminga, now you have a problem. So now you have to put them right back, up there, with the rest of the teams that, you guys are so excited about. So I'm really excited to see, what the Golden State Warriors are going to look like for 82 game season. So we're going to see, and also Moody has looked decent as well. In that same game versus the Lakers, it was 15-4-2. So this Warriors team, watch out for them, But then on the other side, we're talking about the Lakers. I like what the Lakers look like. I know it sounds crazy. I know. I like what they've done. One thing I do like about the Lakers organization, when there is a need, they go out and get that need. You know, I really like the fact that, they keep D'Lo. They keep D'Lo. I really like the fact that how they go and get, some guys from Miami. Gabe Vincent to be exact. I like the fact that they take a flyer on Christian Wood. I like the fact of how they go and get exactly what they need. Austin Reeves re-signed. You know, that bench looks very good. Rui had a really good season last year. So now I'm looking and I'm like, okay, now the Lakers, they look better than they did last year, in my opinion. I don't know if necessarily it's an opinion. I think it's a fact. They're just better. Like, let's just be honest about it. It's okay. Let's be honest. Let's be real. They look good. When LeBron goes out there, I don't think he's going to have to kill himself 35 plus minutes a game. I think that this is going to be a team that is going to probably be second or third in the West. They have that kind of talent on there. The biggest question mark that we have to say is Darvin Ham, maybe. I think that a lot of Lakers fans, would ride with me there on the Darvin Ham situation. I don't know, but let's see what he does in the ways he's matured, in this next season, this upcoming season. So shout out to the Lakers. I like how you guys look, and I think that you guys are going to be fun. There's teams with some big additions. We got to see Milwaukee. We got to see finally Milwaukee last night. What Dame, and Giannis look like. This is going to be a good team. Like, this is going to be a very good team, and you can see that there's going to be easier times for Dame to score. It's going to be easier times for Giannis to score. You're going to double Dame because you don't want him shooting from the logo, and getting those easy step-in threes, and then you're gonna double Giannis, because you don't want him to get that step on you, and take you to the rim. So this is going to be a nice 1-2 man punch. And then they have Chris Middleton coming back. Chris Middleton, he just has to be healthy. If Chris Middleton is healthy, that's a nice 1-2-3 punch. This is going to be a very good team. They're either going to be first or they're going to be second in the East, one or the other. And if you are top three of any conference, you were doing really good. So when it comes to Milwaukee, then you got to look at the other side of that, and that's Boston. Boston, we got a chance to look at how Kristaps Porzingis looks and how Drew Holiday looks in Boston. Let's not kid ourselves. They look pretty good. I think that people have a big issue with Kristaps Porzingis because I think this is his fourth team now, and he hasn't been able to stick anywhere, and quite frankly, it's one thing if you're depending on him to be your first option. Okay. I think we can all agree. I don't think he's a first option. You move him to the second option. Don't think he's necessarily a second option. I think that on the right team, he could be, that team could be very competitive with him as a number two, but he's a third option. That is what he is. And if you're telling me that a guy that scores 23 and 8, he averages that for a season, and he's elite at blocking shots. He can also stretch the floor. There's so many things that Kristaps can do. If you're telling me that kind of guy is a third option on a team like the Boston Celtics that has Jason Tatum as your 1, Jaylen Brown as your 2, and then KP as your 3, and then on nights, Drew Holiday as your 4, or Derek White as your 4, 4 or 5, and you switch those guys. This is a deadly team. Biggest question mark for the Boston Celtics, that bench. Their counterparts in LA is one thing I can say about the Lakers. As I said earlier, they go and get what they need. Boston, not so much. I don't understand necessarily if when they say the bank is open and they spend money, I don't understand quite yet why other guys go to other teams that have been on the market for the whole summer and they find someplace else to sign. But it's a guy that probably fill the void that you needed, doesn't quite make sense to me just quite yet with the Boston Celtics. Um, Peyton Pritchard, the jury's out on him. We're not sure what he's going to look like. We're not sure if preseason Pritchard is going to be, regular season Pritchard. If that's the case, and you're telling me he's going to take a massive step up, great. But um, that helps. But you still need, I think, another big. I think you still need like a hard nosed guy, that utility guy that just comes in and is just he's a bruiser. They don't have that. Um, and then we have to see how the wing position looks. So we're going to see how this goes. With that being said, the 6 guys they have on that team that we know about, this team is going to be deadly. This team is going to be deadly. If this team goes into the postseason healthy, out of the East, I have Boston. You know, um, Not the fandom of talking. I have Boston because I do think that in a 7-game series, I really do think they can take Milwaukee. Um, Moving on from Boston and Milwaukee, those are the top 2 in the East. We can agree. I also like how Miami looks. Thomas Bryant is a big step up as far as a backup big to Bam. They did not have that before. Okay, they did not. Thomas Bryant is somebody who can probably start on the majority of teams in the NBA. He's going to be a backup. If that's the case, that is really good for a team like Miami. Very, very good. Josh Richardson, his best basketball is in Miami under Coach Spo. He's back home. He's back home where it really made his career of in who he is, which was Miami. So I like this. We have to see how this fares and if it's enough to go up against the top 2 of the East. Last year was last year, and we're gonna move on from that pretty much. But last year is last year, and it's kind of like that's pretty much it. But we're gonna see. But they're still gonna be tough. They still have Hero there. Hero is staying, as far as we know. And we're gonna see how he is another year under his belt. So you're gonna have to talk about these guys. Um, Going to the West, I think Denver looks very good. Denver, the reigning champs, as you know, I think that they're going to have some surprises off the bench. I think that they're going to, have some guys step up because, as we know, Bruce Brown is not there anymore. He's in Indiana, but somebody else will step up. They're still going to be deadly. Jamal might just take another step, in his development. And if he does, okay. So now you're talking about a better Jamal who he stepped up last year. He was so damn good in the playoffs. He was so damn good in the finals. Steps up again. They're right back atop of the West. You're going to have to beat this team. Any team that's mentioned that is a championship contender, you're going to have to beat them. But my favorite team, probably in the West, I'm going to give you the team that I'm always rooting for, because of the personnel. And then I'm going to give you the team that everybody seems to be looking over because I think it's going to work. And we're talking about Phoenix, okay? The Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns look really damn good, and we got to admit that to ourselves, all right? But we're going to get more into that right now. I have a guest, all right? And I'm going to bring him on. What's going on, Travis?
Oh, okay. You got me on. Okay. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Just living this LA traffic life. So we're good. And
Absolutely.
I'm in a parking lot, so it's all good.
I hear you. I have never been in LA traffic, but you know what? Boston traffic is terrible, so I'm going to assume we up there together. But
No, I got you. I got you.
thank you so much for stopping in on the show. Welcome to the 3Peat. It's gonna be me and you right now. so
So it
um,
ain't a three-peat. It's just a repeat, right?
it's
Okay.
a repeat right now, but you know what? That's okay. We gonna get to the three. but
Nah, I got you.
you are a professional athlete. You know, you have your history. You know, with basketball. Tell us about you in your start. You know.
Well, I started, like in LA pretty much. My father was a, former player. He was my coach growing up, you know. Uh, back in the 80s, I was a Lakers fan, so like everybody wanted to be like Magic. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so basketball was my sport. I played baseball and I played football, but I took a liking to basketball, so I stuck with that. Um, and after my father retired from the military, like we moved back to LA, and that's what we focused on 24/7 was basketball. So growing up in my era was probably the most deep era in California history of basketball. Just in my class, the class of 1997,
Yeah.
we had Baron Davis, Earl Watson, Jason and Jared Collins, Shea Cotton, Jeff Topanga. These are all just the NBA guys.
Mm-hmm.
Along with guys around the world like, Lamar Odom, Ron Artest, Elton Brand, Tracy McGrady.
Nice.
Like 97 was like a ridiculous class of players. So the
Big deal.
competition was like really, really high. So it raised your level to play in that era.
Absolutely. No, that's wonderful. You did I read you went to UCLA?
Yep. I went to UCLA. I was a part of the number one recruiting class in the country.
Nice.
Me, Baron Davis, Earl Watson, Billy Knight, God rest his soul, Rico Hines, Ty Ramazar. Um, yeah, like I said, I was, one of the top players in the country growing up. Went to UCLA for a couple of years. Me and the coach didn't quite see eye to eye
Mhm.
of what I should be playing. So I left and finished at Long Beach State. Uh, played at Long Beach State for a couple of years, graduated. Then it was drafted number 58 or 59, NBA.
Nice.
But I just went overseas just because like I was thinking about the money. I was like, I ain't trying to play. Back then it was the D League. Then it wasn't the
Mhm.
G League.
In the G League, yep.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So like back then it was like you was making $2,500 a month staying in a 2-bedroom apartment with 5 people.
Wow.
So that wasn't a life I wanted to do. So I was like, I'm gonna just go across my first stop was Bogota, Colombia,
Mm-hmm.
and I went overseas, like I said, for 10 years. First stop Bogota, then I went to Poland, Germany, and Belgium before I ended up in Holland my first year.
Wow.
Yeah, so like I said, I've been all over. I played in Holland, for 4 years. Played in Estonia. I played in Australia. I played in Ukraine. Uh, and I went back to Germany. I played in Germany too, in Romania. So,
You
like
was
I said, I've
playing
been all over.
ball. You was playing ball. Like that's what you was doing.
Yeah, I
Jeez.
did 10 years. So, like, it was, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was a long, for overseas, 10 years is a long career.
Yeah, that is a long career, period. Like some people don't make it there. I don't care whether you here or there. 10 years? Come on now, that's double digits now. Some people, come on now. We know some people don't make it 3, 4 years. All right, this doesn't happen. So 10 years, congratulations. That is a big deal. But also, sir, did I read? Did do you have 3 MVPs overseas?
Yeah, pretty much. I was MVP of MVP in Holland. I won statistical MVP my first year. Then I won the overall MVP the next year, and we won the championship. And then I should have won basically like 5 MVPs, but they don't like giving it to the same person twice.
Uh huh. Okay.
So, like the year that somebody else won it, it was like Shaq and Steve Nash. Like Shaq was, remember the year like
Yep.
Shaq was averaging like 25 and 12, and Miami was in first place. Steve Nash averaged like 15 and 11, and he
And they
got
said,
MVP of the league.
give it to Steve
And
Nash.
I was like, okay. And that's what happened that year. It was a European player that averaged like 13 assists and like 12 points, and he won MVP, and I was averaging like 25 and 10.
So you
But
should
yeah,
so you should have three-peated.
yeah. So I should have, the next year when I left Holland, I went to Estonia and then won the MVP of that league and won MVP of the Baltic League, which was like the MVP of three countries. So Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. That was like if you want to say my biggest MVP because it was the MVP of the whole Baltic League.
It's a big deal. Oh, listen, like I said, congratulations. Like I learned so much, just like reading your career. I watched some videos and also like I watched one of your interviews, right? And I gotta say this, you was interviewing Sheldon Williams, and then you get to his journey in Boston, you like, what's up with that? You said, I'm
Well,
like,
I
wait a
mean,
minute.
being a Laker fan, I would say that a diehard Laker fan that Boston sucks.
Oh my
But I ain't gonna lie. Like in 2008, I was happy for my boy because I know Paul Pierce. I grew up with him.
mm-hmm.
He was always like a big brother to me. You know what I'm saying? He was always cool. He always give me good advice, all that kind of stuff. Growing up because he was like 2 years above me, and yeah, so I was happy for him and even happy for Kevin Garnett. But I was like, Boston.
He said, see that, like it, I felt that through the screen, and I was like, wait a minute, Travis. I'm like, hold up, like don't play us like that. We worked hard for that one. See, I'm a diehard Celtics fan, but I love Kobe Bryant. That
Right.
is,
Okay. Okay. Then I respect that. I respect that. I
he's
respect that.
my favorite when it comes to like you know how like everybody has that story like when did you fall in love with basketball, who did you see, and I saw Kobe Bryant, I'm just like, oh my god, like that, he's perfect. Like, and I was
Right.
young, I was really young, but Kobe is just the one I always follow. Even in that year with Boston, and then playing in the finals, I'm just like, yeah, Boston. And then Kobe do something. I'm like, yeah, real quiet. Yeah. you know? I'm like, don't win the game, but get the 40 points.
Yeah, that's how I felt for Paul, but they end up winning. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember I saw him that summer and I was like, yeah, Paul, at Boston, but like, I'm happy for you, bro. He was
Right.
laughing. So it was all good. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, it was a great series, and it was one for the. It's one they're gonna talk about.
2010, it's all good. So we good.
You know what, you did. But listen,
Like, it's all good.
you know what?
Like
It's the way the scales went, I guess. It's all good.
I thought
But
that was to man, and so
yeah, I'm losing
the
you a
shit.
little bit, Travis. Give me 1 second. So I'm gonna add Travis back again. This is a great interview. I'm so happy that he was able to to pop back up. We're gonna pop him right back up just to make sure that his connection is good. But we're learning so much. Overseas basketball, NBA basketball. We're gonna join it all together. Tonight. Let's see if Travis is back. Travis, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. I could. Sorry.
Yeah, you were losing a little bit of service. All right, so we lost Travis for a little bit. That's okay. He'll be back. One thing we're gonna ask him about is, the Euro League and NBA basketball. How does the Euro League and guys overseas, playing ball? How does it prepare them, for the NBA? Because we have some guys that started out overseas, and then they're in the NBA, and then vice versa. That's one of the things that we are going to get into. So we're going to keep this rolling until we get Travis back, and then we'll be able to ask him those questions. But yeah, like repeating back to what we were saying when it comes to My love for my Boston Celtics. I love Kobe Bryant. So shout out to Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace, man. Travis,
There
I
we
got
go.
that.
It was my Lakerdom, you know what I'm saying? That like, oh, enough talking about Boston now.
See, that's what happened. You mention the Lakers and you lose service. You see what I mean? So one of the things I did want to ask you, is you have a lot of guys that play ball overseas and then they come and they play in the NBA. So tell me a little bit how you think, because I know basketball, everyone says it's different overseas, I guess. So in what ways is it different, but it helps the guys, play in the league in the NBA? Like,
Well,
what
I
do you?
would say it's different because like it's more team basketball than more individualism. See,
Okay.
right now, especially right now, it's an AAU kind of culture where teams are stacked up. They get all the
Hmm.
best players, kind of thing, and like everybody's just one on one. Where in Europe it's not like that. I would say in the top leagues, the leading scorer in the whole league might average 20. You know,
Hmm.
it's like a team, like a year, like Spain. Like if you're in Spain, if you're averaging 20, you can average
Hmm.
30 in the NBA because they don't want their teams where it's one player dominating and getting all the points. The teams I was on, I was averaging 20, and we might have had one other guy averaging 20, but everybody else is averaging like 8 to 12 points a game.
Hmm.
And so that's how they want to play over there. So a guy like Luca, who can people are like, how's he averaging 30 and averaging like 12 assists?
Hmm.
Because in Europe, you have to pass it. It's not like you can just come down. There was no volume shooters in Europe, where like
Hmm.
an Iverson type, he wouldn't work in Europe because it'd be like you can't have one guy shooting, 29 shots a game and then everybody else getting six. Like they don't play like that. And you know
Okay.
what I'm saying? The game is a lot more slower down. It's not as athletic. It's a lot more physical. You really have to be heady. Like you have to play with smarts. And what I mean by that is like there might be their big man is like Vlade Divac, so if you bump him like Shaq used
Hmm.
to, hey, fall down, flop, and the ref charge.
Yep.
Like where guys might use their shoulder and
Hmm.
bump guys off. They'll flop, they'll grab, they'll hold. It's just kind of like a different way of getting away with little tricks of the trade. And I'll be honest with you, like in some countries, if you're the best American or one of the top Americans, you won't foul out. You might get a couple fouls, but you will not
Hmm.
foul out. So
Yep.
it's just the way it is, kind of thing. Like they just play a different kind of basketball over there.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, you did mention Luca, and I just think that he's one of the ones that we saw when he was, going to be drafted. He's going to be special, in this league, and lo and behold, he is very special, in this league. He can score the ball, but he is very good at passing it, So, um, speaking of like Luca, what do you think of what he brings to the Dallas Mavericks, because before they had Dirk and now, the next coming of that, for them is Luca. So what do you think about this match and what do you foresee for them in the
I,
upcoming
well, I
season?
would say Luca has a chance to probably be one of the top European players ever in the NBA.
Mhm.
I don't think Dirk and all those guys kind of struggled. Luca was playing, like the reason why Luca didn't struggle in the NBA because he was playing in the EuroLeague at 17 years old.
Mhm.
EuroLeague is the second best league in the world behind NBA. Like there are guys who should be in the NBA who have played in the NBA in the EuroLeague, and so like when I saw Luca when he was in the EuroLeague, and I was like, this kid is coming. He is real. And I
Mhm.
think, like I didn't know that he would be doing what he's doing now, but I knew he would be successful.
Mhm.
I said the same thing when I saw there was a kid when I was playing in Europe. He was 15 years old playing in Spain, and that was Ricky Rubio. He played on my
Mhm.
French team, and I saw him and I saw Rudy Fernandez. And Rudy Fernandez and him was like the backcourt of this team in Spain. He played with my
Mhm.
friend Jerome Muisio. He played in the NBA too.
Yeah.
Um, but they like I was like both of those kids will be good. They can both play in the NBA, and obviously the next year they both went. Both were
Yeah.
like first round picks.
Yep.
So yeah, so it was a situation where with Luca, I think he has an opportunity. If he stays healthy, and obviously that's a
Mhm.
big if because he has to carry that team. He could probably be a top five scorer all time.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
he can average 20 in his sleep. And like I said, he has to be consistent, obviously, and health is a big part of it, but he could easily be a top five scorer of all time, I think.
100%. No, I agree with that. He's well on his way if he has that kind of career and that longevity. Like we see with some people today. Like LeBron. I think he'll be 39 this season. But he takes care of his body. What do they say? $1 million a year on his
Yeah.
body, to make sure that
Yep.
he can still play this game. If Luca can do some of the same things, take care of his body, he's going to be here for a very long time. You're going to see him 30,000 plus career points and everything like that. And he's going to be in a lot of statistical categories where he's going to be top five or closing in on top two, you
Yeah.
know. So I agree with that. Um, what do you think of the landscape right now? So the upcoming season, 2023-24 season, it's a very hyped season with the trades that have happened.
Mhm.
So there are some question marks with some teams. So I'm gonna start with the West. You out in West, we're gonna give you that. We're gonna come out West with you. What do you think of the Lakers and what they've done? And if you saw any preseason games, how do you think they look?
I watched the game yesterday actually with them
Mhm.
in Milwaukee,
Yep.
and they look good. I mean, think about it. They were missing three starters essentially. They were missing, Vando. They were missing Reeves, and they were missing LeBron. And
Hmm.
in that first quarter, like I said, they were tied with the Bucks, and the Bucks had their real five. And
Yeah.
Giannis don't play soft. He all he knew was play hard. So
Hmm.
AD played him to a standstill. So I think with the Lakers, what they did was a smart thing. Like they
Hmm.
didn't do what they usually do, which is go after the megastar, right?
Hmm.
What they did is they built depth and
Yep.
chemistry, and they switched out some pieces, obviously. But I think that what they did was a smart thing. Now, at the trade deadline, could they add another piece? They have the contracts now that they can stack up a couple
Hmm.
and go get not Trey Lance. People think they Lakers gonna get Trey Lance. That's stupid, But another superstar type. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And they still would have a lot of depth. I think the interesting piece for me in the Lakers is the center that played with Dallas last year. Now I'm just
Christian
blank.
Wood.
Christian Wood.
Hmm.
I think he can be a sneaky, scary piece because Anthony Davis, let's face it, he gets hurt a lot. So
Hmm.
they should he can be that guy that can give the Lakers 2010. He's not Anthony Davis, obviously, because nobody is, but he can give the Lakers a 2010 night on occasions. And the Lakers know that this year they can't go from a second seed to the Western Conference Finals. They're gonna have to play Phoenix or Denver in the first round. So I think the Lakers know that if we can get a top three seed, a two or a three, hell, even a one, you know, I think that we'll be I think they'll be in good shape.
So I agree 100%. I think that they look very good. Actually, before you came on, I was saying I think the Lakers look good. I like what they've done. One
They're
thing
deep.
they one thing I said I did like about the Lakers, they go out and they fill a need. You need backup bigs. What do the Lakers do? Oh, there is a good backup big that's going to at least get me 15 and 8 if AD has to sit down. They go and sign
Mhm.
that. There are a lot of teams, right? And my team included, that you have a need, you don't fill it. And for the life of me, I cannot understand why. I just don't understand it. But good, like it's kudos to the Lakers for doing that. They go and get Gabe Vincent, who has been playing basketball at a really high level, with
Yep.
the Miami Heat. and he's coached by Spo. You know,
Yep. Yep.
That's a smart signing. It's a very smart signing
He's
because
the perfect kind of player to play with LeBron, a guy that really doesn't need the ball. He reminds me of obviously a way better Boobie Gibson. Remember people
yeah, I get
remember
what you're
Boobie
saying.
Gibson? He
Yep,
was short, but he was tough. He hit corner threes. You
he
know
was
what I'm saying?
deadly.
LeBron, yeah, like LeBron loves those kind of guys, and that's what Gabe Vincent is. Like, I think that the Lakers, like, they're young, they're extremely young, and they sign people for multiple years, so they're not like on this 1 year, 1 year, 1 year kind of thing.
Yep.
Because we're chasing the third star. Now they can build around the camaraderie of Austin Reeves, Rui Hashimura,
Mm-hmm.
Gabe Vincent, all these guys, Vando, all these guys that they know that, okay, like this is going to be our core for the next, at least 2-3 years. After
Yeah.
LeBron leaves, we have a team, so we won't just go, we won't do it Cleveland,
No,
because,
definitely.
like when LeBron left Cleveland, Cleveland would crater up two
Yeah.
times, you know what I'm saying? And we're not gonna Lakers they can't, they re-signed Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm.
They you know what I'm saying? Like they did the
Austin
smart thing.
Reed,
He did
Ando.
the
Yep.
he did the
Yeah.
real smart thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what the Lakers, for the first time, I give Rob Pelinka, because everybody has been so critical of Rob Pelinka, right?
Yeah.
From from what they did with not signing Kawhi to the Westbrook to you know not signing Dwight back and going to get Marc Gasol, like and then obviously with the Westbrook and then signing all those old guys, like LA hated him, you know,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
hated him, but like was like, what is he doing?
It was on his
But
head.
he's
Yeah.
actually, these last year and a half, he's been basically executive of the year.
Yeah.
For I think the Lakers. I think as far as, but I want to go back to the West for a minute
Yeah. Go
and
ahead.
just tell you that, like, I think Denver's going to be solid because they run everybody back. Now, losing Bruce Brown was a huge piece for them. It's more of a bigger piece than what people realize. I think they're thinking Christian, I was going to say Christian Kirk, but the guy from Kansas, they think he's going to take Bruce Brown's spot. But it's not
Brown,
that easy.
Christian Braun, I think his name is. Or
Yeah, like for
yeah.
Denver, Bruce Brown. Is it Bruce Brown? Yeah. That was
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
big loss for Denver.
Yep.
I think they'll still be great. Don't get me wrong, but I think that losing him is going to hurt them. Um, I think obviously everybody's going to be talking about Phoenix. The Phoenix is going to be probably one of the best offensive teams in NBA history, but
Yeah. I think so
I
too.
also think that they're going to struggle against size. You know,
Yeah.
uh, and teams that like they're going to struggle. I still think even with that team struggles against Denver and the Lakers. I don't know why. Now they could just outscore the Lakers. Durant can go off, Booker can go off, Beal can go off. But I think in a playoff series, when things slow down in a half court game, and don't get me wrong, Phoenix they're their ultimate get a bucket team, but can
Mm-hmm.
they get stops?
100%.
If we had, like if you can bet your house on it or whatever, if they had to play Denver in the playoffs in the semis or the Lakers semis, would you bet Phoenix? I wouldn't.
I
You know,
I wouldn't. I can't do it right now because I gotta see them. Put it all together. Like you can't. There's only one basketball. And although Beal can score the ball, we know Durant. Monster Durant, the Durantula. We know who that is. We know who Booker is. There's one ball, and if they're not a top 10 defensive team, I don't see them. Making it. To the finals, let alone the Western Conference Finals. They got to be able to put it together. So it's interesting. You get rid of Aiton, you get Nurkic. You know, um, Off the bench you have Eubanks. There's a couple of pieces on their bench that I really do like, but this all comes down to how they move these pieces. And I also don't think that Beal needs to start with Durant and what's my guy's name, Booker. I don't think that he needs to start with them. I think they need to bring him off the bench as a six man. They got to spread that around, get somebody to get that offense going off the bench that, that guy that you can depend on. I think it's too much in the starting lineup for them.
Like I said, I like the funny thing is like the addition by subtraction actually makes sense for Phoenix because Nurkic might ask for the ball every once in a while. He's gonna pout if he don't get the ball. So actually getting rid of Ayton was big for them because Ayton would have been mad. I think Ayton wants to be the guy. He's young. And think about he was the number one pick over Luka, over
Trae Young.
The guy from the point guard from Atlanta, he was the number one guy.
Yeah.
And so he wants to show that, look, I can average 20 if I had the opportunity. I think with Phoenix, he was never going to get the opportunity. And so I think for him, it was like it's good for him and it's good for Phoenix, because like I said, I think if they can get one more big, and one more glue guy, I think that'd be straight. But Grayson Allen with them helps. Grayson Allen's kind of a glue guy.
I agree.
They got Bol, but
they got Eric Gordon too.
He's a 2 guard. He's a 7'2" guard, Bobo. So.
Bobo, yeah, he is. But they got some vets on the bench, and they got Eric Gordon, who I thought was a really good pickup, along with the Grayson Allen.
For the price, Eric Gordon was it $6 million or whatever it was, $2 million?
It's a discount.
Seriously, because he can put the ball, like I said, offensively.
Yeah,
to go in. Durant gets it going, and Bill is good. They will be I mean, think about it. They took Denver to 6 without Paul, because Booker was so fantastic. I think they can get hot like that. Him and Durant can see, what Bill helps them, just depending on how Bill's going to play as a third guy. But like him and Durant, Booker and Durant can carry you. They can carry you a series, if they stay healthy.
No, they can. And again, with a couple of these teams that we're talking about, health is the talk of that team. If you can be healthy and, you guys can put it all together, the defense makes sense. Damn, I think Phoenix is going to be a headache as well. But it's a weird mix of guys, I will say. It's an interesting mix, because then you have to think, who's the point guard? Booker is going to be the point guard,
Yep.
That is your point guard. I don't think it's bad, but we got to see how that plays out. You've been a 2 your whole NBA career, and now the first year you're like, oh, I got the point guard duties. I got this. That's a change. I think that people don't understand that's going to be a little bit to get used to, but I do agree with you. They did do well putting Ayton somewhere else. I actually don't think that Ayton necessarily wanted to necessarily be the guy. But I think the problem with Ayton, from what I saw, was Ayton, when he would get those opportunities, he would lapse. He would have this thing where he looked good 1 game, 2 games, and then for 7 to 10 games straight, you're just like, was Ayton on the floor? And you got to go back and look like, okay, it says he played 30 minutes and he had 10 and 4. Okay, cool. I didn't know he was playing. That's a problem. If you are a top 5 pick and I don't remember if you were on the floor, that's an issue. And that to me was the problem with Ayton. If you're going to be the man, give me the ball. Then, because anybody who wants to be the man wants to be that person. If you go out there and prove it, ain't nobody gonna ship your butt out nowhere. You're not getting shipped. They're gonna keep you right there. They're gonna we got our guy, But I think that they did good. I like Nurkic. People are down on him. I get it. His health is the only question mark. Other than that, he's always been a good guy, good teammate. He'll do whatever you need him to do. I don't know how much Portland basketball people watch, but he is fun. And there was a point in time when people don't remember this, when he was a Denver Nugget, he was ahead of Joker. And it was Joker had to like play his way into bumping Nurkic out when they shipped him, and then they gave the keys to Joker. But
Yeah.
Nurkic was good, man, and I think people forget that.
No, Joe, he got hurt.
Yep,
Joker got some time, and then they said, "Oh my God,
he's
we
good.
got to play this kid Joker," and
Yep,
that's exactly how it happened. I remember, like, he was the starter. Joker played about 10 minutes,
yes.
and like I said, so
I
like
don't remember
he
that.
got hurt. Joker got, it's all about circumstance. Joker got the time, and then, like I said, took off from there. And
It
they
took off
said,
from there.
okay, well, yeah, he just took off from there. So for me, like, yeah, like I said, I liked him. I still like him as a player because he can shoot it. He's physical inside. He just, with him, like you said, his health. But Phoenix is a lot of health. Like, but like I think that's how every team is. How is Denver going to feel, after doing a long playoff run? With Jamal Murray, not necessarily Joker because
Mhm.
he doesn't really, he plays every game, never gets hurt. But with Jamal Murray, like he's had a lot of injuries.
Yep.
Same with Michael Porter. Michael Porter, same with him, had a lot of injuries. And like with these long playoff runs, it's not as easy what people think to
No,
defend your championship. And now they're not under the radar no more.
you're the
That coach can
hunted.
never say, "Oh, they don't believe in us." Blah 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 blah. You know,
Yeah, you're being
uh,
hunted
like you the hunter now. You the hunted rather.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you are the hunted now. You are not surprised.
So use
So
everybody's big game. You know what I'm saying? But the West is, I think, really loaded. I think Golden State, if they get a big man, they will be straight. But like
so they're
the
not
problem
going to
with
be
them
straight.
is, yeah, they're good. Golden State will be good, but it's just, how much can you go with Kevin Looney as your center?
They're gonna roll with it though. That's the thing. They're gonna roll with it.
They
I
have
don't
to.
see them trying to
They
be big.
they have like people don't realize, but Curry gave them a discount when he was injury prone in the first 5 years. He signed that 5-year, $55 million deal. Now
No.
after that, that's how they was able to get Kevin Durant because he signed the $11 million deal. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
Curry's like, nigga, excuse me. He was like, I'm taxing y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm gonna not only get one $200 million deal, I'm gonna get two $200 million deals. So y'all ain't getting no break no more.
100%.
They made 40,
Oh,
was it 43? At 44. Draymond's the one that took the discount at 25, and they got
yeah,
Wiggins at like 30. So like they have all of their money in the starting five, and Chris Paul. So
100%.
with
They
with
got
with
they got
Golden
to get a
State,
big.
like they have a lot of invested in their basically their five guys.
Their core guys. They got a lot. Are there any is there any team in the West? And then we're gonna shoot to the East, for a little bit. But is there any team in the West that is like under the radar that you think can be really good? You're just not looking at them just yet.
New Orleans.
I like it.
New Orleans. I think New Orleans can look. I think Memphis will eventually get their act together. I mean, obviously, the missing Ja the first 25 games hurts. I think they'll be good. They'll be a hell of a 7 seed. Like if say Memphis plays like Denver or Phoenix in the first round, oh my gosh, like that's a hell of a 7 seed. But I think New Orleans, because like if you would just get in shape and just stay in shape, Zion,
Mm-hmm.
right? If he would just stay in shape,
Yep.
like he is unstoppable. He's this version of Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley was like
Charles
six
Barkley.
four, but
Yep.
nobody could stop him because he had a wide butt and could jump. That's what
Yeah.
that's what Zion is, but even on a higher level because he's more athletic than Barkley.
Yeah, Zion is a monster.
He's a monster, right? His
Healthy,
healthy this year. What do you average? 27, 7, and 5 or something?
yeah, that's a healthy Zion. That is a guy that if he is like if he has no injuries and he just goes on and
Nobody look, I've seen him. I've been
has
watching the kid since high school.
yeah,
Nobody's ever stopped him. He stopped himself. Nobody's ever stopped him. And so if he can stay healthy, they could be like oh my God,
yeah.
that's they could be what Sacramento was last year.
Yeah, I can't really look at Memphis like they're gonna do much, and everyone's gonna say, oh, Memphis, no one ever has us and everything. I can't root for a team that without a small forward. Like that makes no sense to me. It's the most logical thing you're gonna hear. They don't have a small forward. They got
Who
two
is their
shooting
small
guards.
forward? Oh, they had
Exactly.
Dylan Brooks. Who's the small forward now?
There you
Oh,
go.
Luke,
See, who
Luke,
is it?
Luke Kennard. There we go. Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
Because
All
I'm
right.
like, who is their small forward? Because they got Bane at the small, they got Bane at the point, and then they're gonna have Ja. Yeah, there's Luke Kennard.
Luke Kennard. Travis, come on, come on. Luke,
He's the small forward for them.
he's the small forward.
Yeah, that was that could be a trivia question. Like, who's Memphis the small
Who's the
forward
small
now?
forward for the Memphis Grizzlies? They gonna say, Bane. You're Bane. Like, oh yeah, that little shooting guard they got over there. Like that's built like a point guard. That guy right there. Like, come
Yeah,
on, man. That's the only reason why I don't pick Memphis. Also, the lapses that they have, the fouling at the wrong time, the guys that you need to play defense don't play defense. So therefore other guys have to help too much and get themselves in foul trouble. I just don't know if they can put it together necessarily just yet. And I don't think that this core group is the one that's going to make it together. I think they're going to have to do some switching around at some point in time.
well, I think like getting Clark back helps them. Clark was really like their secret. He was like the big man energy, knew his role, played hard, athletic. Um, Last year, like I said, what the Lakers did is kind of expose them. Like, because what the Lakers did was smart. We're gonna play off Dylan Brooks. He's
Mm-hmm.
gonna do something stupid, and he
Mm-hmm.
didn't hit any shots. And like I said, the Lakers, you know, exposed them in a way. They had nobody can guard Anthony Davis. I think, Jackson was defensive player of the year, but like you said, he gets in foul trouble because he's always helping off John Morant's man.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying John Morant can't play defense, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're like a guy who tries to block a lot of shots, you're gonna get a lot of fouls.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like I said, with Memphis, they've kind of had that core for the last couple of years. Like you said, if
Mm-hmm.
say they lose in the first round again, maybe second, and get like pulverized by Denver, Phoenix, LA, something like that,
Yep.
they might look to move somebody, if that's Jared Jackson, if that's Ja, if that's I don't think they moved Ja because he puts people in
Yeah.
the seats, but they just paid Bang $200 million, so I don't think they're gonna trade him, man. Well, it has to be maybe Jackson.
And honestly, I think they're gonna have a long, hard talk, and I think it is gonna be that if one of those guys, they have a Zaire, I think, what's his name, Zaire Williams, I think his name is something like that. That's on their bench. He's a small forward. If he,
Oh yeah.
if he can come in, develop, get him 12, 13 points, but also be a good defender, and be steady
Mhm.
for them and play smart. Now you having a different conversation. Like, okay, now what can they be, and who can they, scare, and potentially, bump out in that first round. So it's in their best interest that they are not probably below 5, because it's going to be very tough for them, any other way, to get out of that West.
Yeah.
With the teams in the West, who's coming out?
Yep. Oh well, I think you know me. I'm Lakers.
Here we go,
100%.
y'all.
I think that they the deepest. Now, don't get me wrong. The West is the gauntlet this year. I mean, like I said, Memphis, they were the 2 seed last year. They could be the 7 this year, you know? Let's just say the top 3 is Denver, Phoenix, Lakers, the Clippers could be up there. Sacramento could be up there. The Warriors could be that's 6 right there, 6 or 7.
It's
now,
a problem.
Memphis and New Orleans could be 7, 8, right? And I'm just, like the West, like I said, could be the gauntlet. Now, I as a Lakers fan, I'll be 100% honest with you. I think this is the last great run that they had with LeBron and AD. I don't know if they have a great run in them, after the last one. So, like I said, for that main reason is that I'm picking the Lakers out of the West. I think they end up playing Denver in rematch in conference, but Denver is 6.
Travis, can you hear me? I think we lose you a little bit.
Good, yeah. I said Lakers out of the West. They beat Denver 6. The Lakers beat the Warriors in the playoffs, you know what I'm saying, again. And Denver beats Phoenix again in the playoffs. That's what I think in the semis. Now, the only spoiler could be the Clippers. Because I think the Clippers could beat. I think the Clippers could beat Phoenix. If they're healthy, the Clippers could beat Phoenix. I'm not even joking. Even with Beal, I'm not even playing. They match up great with Phoenix.
You ain't gotta tell me. You ain't gotta tell me that at all. Because let me tell you something. I am one of those people. I want to see the Clippers succeed because
I don't.
You don't. Because you just hating over there, Travis. It's okay. I got you.
No. I just as a Lakers fan, I don't want to be better than us. I'm so sick of want to be all the Clippers. Oh, shut up. Get out of our building and shut up. Next year, you're out of our building, and then we can move forward. So I'm sorry. Sorry to go on that little.
I know. I already know. You Lakers fans, man, y'all are something. Over there in Laker Town, y'all are something. But you know what? I'm gonna leave you be. When it comes to the LA Clippers, if they make that trade, and Travis, we lost you for a little bit, so come right back into focus. Can you hear me?
Oh, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Lakers, what I like about not the Lakers, excuse me, the Clippers. When it comes to the Clippers, there's a possibility. I really do think Harden will find his way to that team, and if they keep it with the sense of Westbrook, Harden. You have Paul George and you have Kawhi, and then you get to keep Zubac, and a couple of their bench pieces as well. That is another team that is very heavy, and I think they're going to be a tough out.
Here's what I think about Harden. I think Harden, great player, obviously from the West Coast. He's from Cali, so I love him. You know what I'm saying? But the Clippers depth too. They'll have to give some up to get them, right? I don't know. Like Harden needs the ball a lot, and don't get me wrong. If they got Brooklyn Harden, where he was leading the league in assists, like averaging like 20 and 11.
Yep,
that's a huge thing for them, right? But if they got Philly Harden who wants the ball more, it ain't gonna help.
Who was gonna score with him? Who was gonna score with him and Embiid? He had to. He had to be that.
Well, no, look. All I'm saying is look, you got Tobias Harris, you got Tyrese Maxey.
Shit. Oh shit, y'all. He said Tobias Harris.
Tobias Harris is he's still living off. I was like, how long is this contract for? Did he sign a 10-year deal? I'm like, why is he still making $38 million a year?
You know what's funny? And the same man that everybody loves to hate in Doc Rivers, right? The reason why Tobias Harris has such a good name for himself is that season he played with Doc Rivers in LA. That really helped Tobias Harris. Yeah, y'all looked at him differently. Y'all don't remember this, but he played his best basketball under Doc Rivers, coming from the Clippers. And I think that they put too much on Tobias Harris to be too much. And you want him to come in because he's making 35 plus mil. Well, you need to score 35 plus points. It don't work like that's not what he was doing. It's not he's not that kind of guy.
No, look, I would tell you, like, if you're making that kind of money, you got to perform like that kind of player.
Oh shit!
Like,
I don't know, Travis. That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen.
You know what I'm saying? Look, it's like Dak Prescott. You want $40 million, and you got to be a $40 million quarterback. You can't.
But that
you
ain't
can't be you can't act like you're a $10 million player if you
yes,
you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta.
Yes, he can, Travis. For 8, was it 17 games season?
You can't be getting $35 million and getting 12 points a night. You can't be a role player at $35 million.
No, I agree with you, but this is what we got. This is what they're giving us. They make a lot of money.
No. You can't be that. You cannot be that.
No, I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. Like, look, you want to be like when I was American, the Americans out when I was hooping overseas.
Mm-hmm.
If you was making 100,000, you was not, unless you was on a team where dudes was making $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you was not coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Like, they will get rid of you and go get another $100,000 player.
What do you think of the East? The East is thin, kind of light, But what do you think of the East and how things have shaped up?
Top heavy,
very top heavy.
I think Milwaukee and Boston have separated themselves from everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I think Philly will be Philly. I mean, they're not, they're good, but they're not great. I think Embiid will do his thing, but obviously with that Harden thing, I don't know. I think Boston is one Al Horford injury away from being kind of little.
Yep.
Because they're banking on Porzingis to be healthy, and like he's kind of the Anthony Davis of the East.
That's what I'm saying. Well, that's what I was saying.
I'm saying like they didn't get any. They traded their big man, And I'm not saying I wouldn't have done the deal for Drew Holiday, but they better go get a big man.
Yeah, the Drew Holiday thing I can live with, but I'm like, that's great. Where's the size? I need a bigger. Where's Dwight? Dwight in shape? Call Dwight. Like Dwight, come be on the bench, man. Like I don't know. Call somebody that's body hold up.
Because I'm like, who else is in the East? I'm like, now think about it. Like it's Boston, it's Milwaukee. I mean, Miami is Miami, So they'll be as.
They could be a little bit better.
I know they're the most pissed.
Yeah, they don't want to. They don't want to show it.
Pat Riley usually gets those big deals done, but the fact that he didn't do it or didn't want to pull the trigger,
he hasn't been able to do it in a few years, though. Yeah. He hasn't been able to do it.
Look, and the fact that he went to Milwaukee, Dame went to kind of the rival of Miami, because they played him. Miami is the only team that beat Giannis multiple times in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Them in Boston. I mean, Boston beat them once or twice. Anyway.
We stay beating Milwaukee. I don't want to hear all that. You know what it is with Milwaukee? They was one big Kevin Durant shoe size away from going right back in the second round. That his big foot just had to be on that line. Now they're like, oh, can't nobody beat Giannis.
No, look, that you think about that, right? Kevin Durant hits the 3 instead of the 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
They go up, they win that game, right? They probably close it out. That changes the trajectory of the NBA because obviously Brooklyn's not. They're going to re-sign Harden. They will re-sign.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So imagine Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving together as a champion team. You know, because they would have won that year. They would have beat Phoenix.
100. Yeah,
Um,
I believe that.
they would have
No,
beat Phoenix, and so like, and like I said, and then after that, I think Giannis probably leaves Milwaukee.
yep.
You know, so they that year just changed the NBA. I think Giannis ends up as a Laker for some reason. I just thought he
Of
would be a
course you
Laker.
do. Y'all think y'all getting everybody. That's the problem. Y'all think y'all
That's
getting
the problem. Yeah, sometimes we get people that we don't want. You know,
everybody.
but yeah,
That's a
yeah.
curse.
So,
You get
but
people you
yeah,
don't
so
want.
I think the East is like I said, like Boston and Milwaukee separate themselves. Miami's gonna be Miami. Philly's gonna be they'll be decent. You know, Toronto will be in the mix. Uh, I think that's it. Chicago, I guess. I don't
You
know.
got the
You know, like
Cavs. You got New
the
York.
Cavs. The Cavs.
Come
That's what the
on,
Cavs.
Travis. What's
The
going
Knicks.
on?
The Knicks will play hard, but like this is year 3 of Thibodeau, so they'll be exhausted. Because
It's
he
year,
just runs his team into the dirt.
it's year too much of Thibodeau. They haven't figured it out that they gotta make some
What no?
changes.
If I'm the Knicks, I would, as much as I love Julius Randle, I would trade him to go get Zion or something like that. Like they need another star
Did you
to
say
go
Joel
with
Embiid?
Brunson.
Did you say Joel Embiid?
Yeah,
That's the trade right there. I'm just waiting to
trade everything you have to go get
for
Joel. Like
Joel Embiid.
obviously keeping some guys, but like you get rid of Randall, you get rid of whatever pieces, salary fillers. Now, will Philly accept that? Probably not, but you need to go get Joel. You get Joel and you got the point guard, you got something cooking.
You know what the blockbuster trade that I'm going it's a long shot, but I think it can happen because this team pulls the trigger. I really do think that if Golden State does not perform the way they feel they can because they're still in the prime of Steph Curry. Steph Curry is still amazing. I really do think that they package up a couple of them young ones and they go look at Philly and they be like, all right, how can we get Joel Embiid in Golden State? And I think it happened. I think they pulled the trigger.
Yeah, look, I think with Philly, the Golden State thing. Yeah, like I said, New York ain't. I mean, Philly ain't giving. Because what does Golden State have to give to Philly for Joel Embiid?
Kaminga, Moody,
Unless
and
you're giving up
3 first.
Steph.
Stop it. They're not going but they're not
It's a
gonna get nothing better than that. They're not gonna get nothing better than that. Who has a package for them?
yeah. No,
That's the problem.
because I was like the problem is the good teams. None of them have picks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Clippers don't have no picks. I would think they would go after Embiid. Lakers don't have no picks. What they need?
Who got picks? But the thing is, like if you look at Moody and Kaminga and like 3 firsts from Golden State, and maybe like a salary match. You got to get somebody filling that salary or whatever.
Wait. Did you say Kuminga and who?
Moody.
For Joel Embiid?
Not just. I'm saying they got to start with that. Kaminga's a hell of a piece. You ain't been watching them, Travis. I don't know, man. Like Travis, have you been watching Golden State this preseason?
I watched them because they played the Lakers.
Yeah.
That's the only. Oh my god. Like,
They ain't giving them no Joel Embiid for no Kuminga and Moody.
But they got 3 firsts. Come on now, put the package together. Hell, do they give up Draymond?
Rudy Gobert got 5. 5. Rudy Gobert.
They ain't get no Kaminga though. All right, so let's think about this right before we wrap this up. Right, who's coming out of the West? Who's coming out of the East? Who wins the championship?
Let's see. I'm thinking Milwaukee's going to come out if they're healthy, and that's a big if. Milwaukee's coming out the East, and then Lakers going to come out the West, and it's going to be a Giannis versus AD matchup in the finals. and LeBron on the one last run, and then Dame on this trying to get his first ring, and we're striving for 5, for LeBron to get that one last ring to put him in that 5 and up echelon. Because if you get 5 rings, you win a different echelon than when you are at 4.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then he can then if LeBron get another championship, he can get a statue.
All right. So, how upset y'all gonna be when Milwaukee gets beat by Boston, and then the Lakers they get beat by Denver, and then it's gonna be Lakers.
So you think we're gonna get beat by Denver again?
Yeah, it's gonna be Denver Celtics, and then Celtics win the championship.
Oh no. Denver ain't getting back to the. They gonna lose.
It sounds good
This
to
year.
me. It don't
Denver
sound
gonna
good
lose in the semis or in the Western Conference Finals. They ain't getting back. They are like, what do they call one hit wonder? They Soldier Boy.
Oh my God. Okay.
Nah, but
listen, I'm telling you right now.
They one hit. They won it. No, I think Boston can, but the problem with Boston is you're depending on Al Horford and you're depending on Porzingis. Now it can help, it can work if they're healthy, but you telling me you're gonna put Porzingis on Giannis?
That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that's not even the matchup. And that has never been the matchup. Just like when we got rid of Robert Williams, that wasn't even the matchup. Al Horford has always been on Giannis. Always. That's been his job.
Yeah, okay, yeah. How old is Al Horford now? 46?
You know what? He's going on 48, but you know what? That's okay though, because
You know what I'm saying?
he's healthy.
Don't get me wrong, I love Al Horford, but like
no. They need something else. I am very aware of that. I don't think that they're done. I think that they figure it out, I think he's back right now. So I think that they do figure it out, I don't know what they're gonna do, but Brad Stevens has been very, forward thinking, and he's been able to pull the trigger. So I can't say I'm out on what they're doing. I don't think this is the bench that goes into the playoffs. I will say that. Travis, where can the people find you? How can we link up with you?
All right. Well, you can follow me at Travis W. Reed on Instagram. That's REED Travis W. Also on Facebook, Travis W. Reed. I post all my social medias on both. I have a Twitter, but I don't really use it as much. It's like Travis Reed, UCLA.
Oh, Twitter. You got to get on Twitter, Travis.
It's X now, right? It's X. I'm sorry, not even Twitter.
It's always
X.
Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, if you're looking for those, and by the way, one last thing.
Yep.
Wanted to say that I would love to see a Laker Boston, like just because LeBron can really be a Laker great if he beat Boston in the finals. Oh my God.
That's a shame because he ain't gonna do it. You don't want that because then it's gonna go.
Oh, we want all that smoke. We want all that Boston smoke.
We want all that smoke. You know why? We tired of y'all. but
so we get tied up. We get 18 championships versus 8. No, we would beat y'all. We would be ahead of y'all if we won the chip. We have 18-17.
Not really, because y'all wasn't the Lakers when y'all started winning. So I don't know.
We were the Lakers when we started winning. We were just the Minneapolis Lakers, all right?
From where? Minneapolis?
We were the Lakers. We were the Lakers.
All right. I'm gonna let y'all have that one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let y'all have that one. But yeah, Lakers and Celtics, that's something that we do want. Hopefully we will get it. And honestly, we're gonna see how this is shaping up. The first 40 games, we might be just heading towards that same station. So that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a ride. And Jason Tatum, Finals MVP. LeBron goes out sad again.
You say Jason Tatum for MVP?
Finals MVP. That man's not getting
Finals.
He's not getting regular season MVP. That's going to Luka. I'm telling y'all. Y'all think I'm crazy. It's going to Luka. I'm telling you, Luka.
It's not crazy. You're not crazy. Look, Luka gonna average 38 and 8. How was you know what I'm saying?
No, but
they just got to figure out if they can win, he would get the MVP every year.
But they keep saying, Giannis and Joker and then Embiid, and I'm like, I'm telling you something. The NBA, like I'm telling you that, like, who looks good for this award? Jason Tatum is not a good look for this award. He's too quiet. He's too quiet with how he does what he does. All right, he's not an MVP candidate. I'm telling you right now, the man's not winning this MVP. It's going to be Luka. I'm telling you, Luka is next in line. But I'm your host, Nat the GM. Thank y'all so much for being here. Travis, thank you so much for being a guest. We hope to have you back through the season. All right.
Anytime we could talk Lakers, Boston, more like Lakers. You know, we could talk
More
anytime
like
Lakers, as much as you want.
Celtics, Boston. We're gonna talk a lot about the Celtics, y'all. That's what he's a fan. He's a fan, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good night. Have a good night, Travis.
All right.